Hi Virgo, welcome to your September 2022 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Virgo, this is for you. And I always advise you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, first things first, happy damn birthday to you. I truly hope you have a wonderful solar return, lunar return, or ascendant return, whichever it is for you. I really hope you have a fantastic year ahead, and remember to fill the day of your birthday, the day of your, solar return, let's say, with a little bit of everything that you want this entire year ahead to have in it for you, okay? You got to imprint the universal energy with all of those good things. So do token little elements of all the stuff that you want for this next 12-month period. For your actions and interactions with the world at large, this month you have the Page of Swords. So this is interesting to me because obviously your ruler Mercury is going to be is slowing down to go retrograde during the month of September, and will cross the boundary of Libra and come back into your sign of its exaltation, and then go direct from there on in. The fact that you've got the Page of Swords this month, paperwork, documents, letters, anything that you're having to sign, seal and deliver, you want to be really, really careful with this month. And not just because of the retrograde, but because it looks like whatever you've done, you've got it right, but how it's received, it's like somebody else is either reading it wrong, or maybe they gloss over it and they don't take in the full message. The other thing that this feels like to me as well, and it's funny because your sibling sign of Gemini also had this card in this position, not this specific card, but the Page of Swords in this position. And I said to them, there are a lot of options. It's going to be a really busy month where there's lots happening for you, which is fantastic. But you want to pace yourself, all right? So it's like whatever you're doing it to the best of your ability, but the way that it's received, it's like somebody misconstrues or misreads something. So you want to watch out for that. And also anything that you're putting out, make sure it's not too much. You don't want a big concentration of stuff that you're putting out, all right? You need to just find a way to moderate how much of whatever you're doing you're putting out, all right? So that way you don't burn yourself out. For your communications and conversations, you have the Queen of Pentacles. I love this card for you, especially because it's an energy that you know well. The Queen of Pentacles is a communications card, especially with the Page of Swords. You're cultivating the right communications with the right people. So your interactions, your social connections, your professional connections, this is a month for you to really cultivate those. You got to make sure you're checking in with people. And this is the thing as well, like if you're having to put so much into the communication side of things, there's only so many things that you want to be able to, that you want to launch at the moment so that you can do all of it right. But I love this. The Queen of Pentacles suggests that your interpersonal connections, work in the room, doing your networking, all of that kind of stuff is going to be important for you this month. All right. Now, your Queen of Pentacles, an earth sign woman, Taurus, Capricorn or a Virgo, could be very important for you. This could also be that you are at the center of many different things that are being communicated this month. Because it is the Page of Swords, I am going to say that some of you could be embroiled in something that goes a bit sour. So you just want to be mindful of how much you're putting into certain things, all right? For your Heart and Hearth, you got the Sun card. So for those of you that are partnered, married, in long-term commitments, this is beautiful. You and the partner are in a good space. You and a partner are also talking about children. For those of you that don't have them already, or those of you that have them and want more, potentially, you could be having those kinds of conversations. For those of you that are partnered but don't want children or have never envisioned it, or maybe you even passed it, this could be a time where you're planning some form of travel. It could also be a time where you're building something for the future that is a lot of fun to you in the now. This is you putting time, effort, and energy into something that you absolutely love. The relationship itself is light-hearted, it's free. Even with some of the external communications, let's say, that might be a bit challenging, the internal communication between you and your significant other, top notch. For those of you that are single and looking, I mean, look, having options, there's worse problems, right, than to have options. And I feel like there are options this month. It's like you have, and certainly through your connections, like through your interpersonal connections, through friends, through colleagues. I wouldn't even be surprised as well if those of you that are single, maybe somebody at work, maybe somebody that you study with, there's somebody that is trying to set you up, and maybe usually you're like, oh gosh, no, not another one of these. This time is one of those times where they actually get it right, so be open. For your money and materials, you've got the Ace of Wands. Love this, right? So you've got a lot of fire here. You've got the Sun card, that's fire. You've got the Ace of Wands, that's fire. This, for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, and as well, I would say even for those of you that are single and mingling, this is pregnancy energy. This is conception energy, so be mindful of that. It can be projects. It could be a project that you love that ends up being very lucrative, that takes off really quickly. Like you put it out there and you think, oh, I'll see how it goes. Bang, it just goes mental. Lots of people want it, lots of people love it, and it could do very well. This is a great month for your finances, actually, especially where you're doing things in collaboration, in partnership, where you're networking with other people. Love all of that. This could also be a time where if you're working on a book, a blog, a website, anything like that, this could be a chance to make money from that. And quite spontaneously as well, maybe in a way that you hadn't expected. So for your weeks of the month, for the first week of September, you have the Tower card. So you've got this with the Page of Swords. I really think this is something that you're sending off. It's like maybe you apply for a change of driver's license because you've changed your address, right? I know here in the UK that's a whole thing. You could send it off, maybe you get a message back saying, we haven't been able to, verify the place that you live, or, say it could just be something really odd that you're like, this doesn't make any sense. It's not you, it's the other side, but you are going to have to sort of have a deliberation with this, because you've got the Tower card here as well with the Page of Swords. This is potentially an argument or a bust up with somebody, and it could be over the airways. This could be on a social media platform. It could be over a phone call or a Skype call, something like that. My honest opinion, unless you absolutely have to, don't get into it. Just don't do it. For your second week of the month, look, double hit of the Sun card. Save some for the rest of us. It is birthday Virgo season for sure. So you've got the Sun card with this Queen of Pentacles. This is the right networks, the right people, an earth sign woman, Taurus, Capricorn, or a Virgo that really helps you advance your career, advance your work, or connects you to the right person that can amplify your voice. There's something here where you are being amplified, your voice, your reach, your visibility. There's something about it this month that could be really, really nice. And I would wager that that second week of the month is going to see you making some amazing cocktails. Those two. Hey, listen, if you're making, Rafi's invited. I love cocktails. It's a thing. But yeah, you're making some really amazing contacts. Now you've got this with the Sun, with the Tower card. There's a couple of ways this could play out. The heaviest ones are, this could be a big solar flare that we hear about this week. And it could be one that potentially knocks out puts the internet on the frizz in some place. The other way that could show up as well is literally a fire. if that is the case, it's going to be, you know, like we had, you know, a couple of years ago when we had the California fires, and I touch wood, I hope it's not that again. The reason being is we haven't got the Four of Wands here, because last time I read for somebody, they had the Tower, the Sun card and the Four of Wands, and I was like, where in the world are you? Because I'm seeing a lot of fire. And she said, I'm in California and this is what's going on right now. Because you've got a double hit of the Sun card and you've got the Ace of Wands, I wonder if this, you know, again, a touch wood, I hope I'm wrong, but I've seen, when you see certain combinations come up over and over and you've been doing it long enough, you start to spot certain things, and then your intuition kind of pokes at you and it's a whole thing. Then you've got the Strength card for the 3rd week of the month. So I wouldn't be surprised if you are interacting with a Leo person this month as well. You know, it doesn't have to be a man, it doesn't have to be a woman, it could be, you know, it could be anyone really. But a Leo person could feature for you this month very, very strongly, because there's a lot of Leonine energy here. That 3rd week of the month, the first thing that I love about this, for those of you that are partnered, married or in long-term commitments, this is you and your partner doing something that maybe scares you a little bit, or maybe not scares you, but it feels like something that's like, oh, you know, we said we'd never do this, or, you know, we said we were going to wait for 5 years before we did that, and it's like you're going for it now. And it might not make sense on paper. It might not make sense to everybody else around you, but this is something that you both believe in really strongly. For those of you, and also as well, because it's double hit of the Sun card and the Strength card, that's Europe. Okay, I'm going to have to deliberate and decipher later. For those of you that are single, it could be that you're meeting a Leo person, very possible, but it could just as easily be that this person brings out the best and the lightest traits in you. They just bring out the stuff in you that makes you shine. I like it. And that could, you know, sometimes that's disconcerting, especially if you've had a string of nothing but really bad relationships. It can be really hard to trust somebody that seems to be really good and really nice. For your 4th week of the month, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Your money, your resources look great. Your reach, your voice is amplified. Something that you're putting out into the world goes further than you imagined. I love it. This could also be a spontaneous, not ability, but a spontaneous opportunity to make money doing something that either has an international or a foreign feel to it. Finally, for your moons, so you've got the new moon on the 25th of September in the sign of Libra, which for you is your 2nd house of finances, money, resources, personal and self-esteem, and worth and value. The things that you really value. So this new moon is really, maybe you're having a value shift of some kind, something that wasn't important to you before, that you hadn't wanted maybe, suddenly becomes more important to you. Whenever I'm talking about astrology as well, remember I'm always talking about whole sign tropical astrology, and I'm always saying to you, check the ascendant first and then the sun and the moon, because those are still relevant. They are still relevant and they do still play out. Like for me personally, yes, I identify with my ascendant sign a lot, but I'm actually, the older I get, the more I'm starting to really, really feel like I'm embodying my my sun sign. For your new moon message, you've got the Gate 1 and Create, so a value shift, a change in some sort, a creative endeavor, a blog, a book, a website, something that you're launching out into the world that has every chance of success and potentially is very lucrative for you, especially if this has an energy where you're networking or you're meeting somebody new that is able to amplify or shine a spotlight on what you're doing. Your full moon in the sign of Pisces for you is in the 7th house. This is right opposite the other end of the sky. This is your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. It is your significant other. It's the best friend that you live with. It is the, you know, it's your doctor. It's your astrologer. It's the people that you have close one-on-one connections and ties to. And this is putting a spotlight on that. And you've got the Gate 27 and Caring. So this is likely to come up, as this comes up, it's likely to highlight a familial tie. So somebody that you're very close to in your family could feature for you around that full moon in Pisces, and they could be very good for you. They might even introduce you to somebody that helps you, helps move you forward. That being said, this is the one concern. Wherever you're having to interact with someone, you're having to send off paperwork, documents, etc., passports, it's a potential as well. Like if you're sending an original document, make sure you've got a copy of it somewhere, because this could be one of those things where it gets lost as well. All right. Other than that though, that's like your only warning. This is a great month, and quite frankly, a very happy birthday. With that said, take care and I'll see you soon.